Welcome. All right. In this tutorial, we are going through the melodic build-up recipe, and we are starting with this melodic build-up recipe template. And the first thing that you're going to do is to save it as a new live set. And I will just call this stormy because it is kind of stormy outside right now. It's just going to be a template, and you can just name it whatever, but you just want to save it before you begin from the template so that you always have that clean template saved that you can use to start a new project. All right, so this workflow is something that I learned from Il Gates of Producer Dojo. It has helped me so much in making tracks quickly and being detached from them and just getting an arrangement out and ideas out so that I can have a skeleton and a sketch of a song for phase one, where we're just drafting ideas. And then from creating a bunch of stage one or phase one sketches, from there we go back and we look at the best ones and we pick the best ones to take to phase two, stage two, level two, whatever you want to call it. And we have the instructions over here, and we're just going to walk through it together. So first we are creating different songs based around the idea of a melodic buildup into a drop. And think of it like you're cooking some food. So we're bringing all of the ingredients together. And then once we have those ingredients, then we're going to put them into an arrangement. And we have this already prepared. So first, we're going to look at chords. We want there to be warm chords that we can go along with. And the harmonic progressions can vary depending on what you're going for, but we'll get those in the background. We want a lead melody, and that could be a synth. It could also be vocal samples. It could also be a vocal top line. For the sake of this tutorial, we'll use a lead synth sound, and taking it to the next level would be another part of this work on this song. We're going to have an atmosphere, which is going to be in the background. So it'd be something like a high note on a violin, a vinyl crackle, even a field recording of distant children playing, or noise, or some sort of high-pitched crystalline texture, just something in the high frequencies. And we're also going to get a chill sub bass that's not too loud, and it just holds that low end down so it feels all-encompassing and strong. And we're going to have these build-up sounds, and I will read through these as we go, but let's first just start those. Let's get these melodic channels, and I'm going to show you how you can do this using Splice. So first thing I want to do with my track is I want to think about what tempo do I want it to be. I'll put it at 126. This is kind of a house music BPM tempo. But from here, we could do a lot of different stuff. So this is a great way to get started. You just go into Splice. We can download samples and then manipulate them to make them our own. But this is a great, easy way to get started without having to program your own synths. Synth design is a whole field in itself, so this is a great way to get started. We can look at things that come up as popular packs, and we can also look at different samples. Notice that there are almost 74,000 matching samples for chords. So we could look at things that match the vibe. I want to do a tech house track. So it's kind of, house music meets techno. So I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to stay away from cozy jazz chords. Let's just see what they have in here. You could either see what they have in a sample pack that would come up catered to you. Another thing that you could do to search would be to search a loop and You could also search any genre that you're looking for, like house, your tech house, pop, UK garage, techno, whatever you want, hip hop, R&B, future bass. Then also for the instruments, maybe you would be looking for pads for the chords or synths for the chords or keys for the chords. Um, Key, I usually leave this open when I start a song and just kind of see what samples I like to start with. And once we find ideas that we like, then we can be particular with the keys or transposing different samples that we find. BPM, I'm not going to search right now exactly what BPM range. Usually when I'm working in Ableton, I'll do something like 120 to 128 if I'm writing in 126 BPM, because this will bring up chord progressions or sounds that are typical of these genres that I like to write in. So, for example, house or techno or like pop house kind of stuff. Um, we could do an exact BPM, but it'd be harder to find ideas. But by going through a range, we can find ideas that we like. And then once we bring them into the session, we can adjust them to our liking. So warping in Ableton or Logic with Flex Time. But for now, I'll just reset that. And I'm going to open up this Tech House sample pack. Cool. If you want to read a little bit about it, you can. Cool. So from here, we can look at more, see if they have anything with chords coming up in here. I didn't see any chords right here, but maybe it's under keys. These are stabs, like little one-shots. So also, if we do a loop, we can definitely find some ideas. All right, well, maybe actually these are all stabs. Because usually, since we would see some sort of loops, but these are all one-shots. They're pretty cool, though. I'm going to heart this to be able to come back to it. All right, so I can see in all of the titles that they're stabs, and also in all of the samples down here that they're just one-shots, and we want to loop. I'll go back to search chords. We're looking for maybe a chord progression. If we find like one chord, we could either make our own chord, or we could take a chord that we find and then transpose it to make a chord progression. Why don't, I'll show you what I did. Loop, and then BPM, I'll search between 120 and 128. And genres, I'm gonna see what happens if I look up house music. And chords. And then we'll just go and play different things. And we're just gonna heart any that we like and download them if you have a Splice membership. And the point is to not be too attached. To me, that's not like upbeat enough. I like that. So just because of sake we're going for time, I'll take this garage one. All right, so just download that. I have my Splice app open here. Oops, I don't want Logic. So I'm going to, this would probably be my here, melody chords. So just open this up, pop it in. Here we have 126, here's at 128, so we can adjust that. We can see how it automatically dropped into Ableton and it adjusted the tempo. We can look at these little warper markers down here and see that they're pretty much on the beat. We can also go in and adjust them to make sure that they hit in a tight way. So for example, we definitely will adjust these ones to hit on the downbeat. I'll do the downbeat first. And then in between the downbeats, you can go in and adjust more minute parts. So usually I'll take these 2.3. I'm not yet sure if these ones are supposed to be delayed off the beat. It might be like a little bit of a garage delayed style versus putting them directly on the beat. So I'm going to investigate that in a little bit. Because sometimes music hits in the pocket and in the groove when it's slightly delayed. But for something that is like really obvious it's supposed to be on the beat, like this, but it's slightly behind, we'll just nudge it up, tighten it up so it will hit well with other parts of the beat. I'm not quite sure yet with these which ones, what I want to do with them. Maybe like going real close. We'll hear more when there are drums with it, if it's lined up and tight. I think it is maybe supposed to come a little after the beat. Let's leave it like that for now. Now we want to get a lead sound. So our song is now in G minor based on this sample that we got. So let's look for like a lead. So I'll take chords off. Maybe we'll have a loop. Let's see. Who knows? Key, G minor. We could always look for something outside of G minor and then transpose it later, but let's see what we have here first. And then we could change if we want. Look at all these other ideas for chords. Anyway, I'm going to cut out chords there. Let's see what comes up. So we want a lead. So leads. Sometimes things will come up and say that they're in G minor, but if you actually listen to it, it's not. So we just have to make sure that we trust our ears. Oh, we need high energy. Yeah. Not something it's gonna like stand out to a listener. A vocal could also be really cool. Or if it was even your own vocal or your own lead synth line. Let's skip this right away. Oh, I already got that for something else. We could even look, oh, maybe we could just try refining our search and see what different ideas come up. Melodic loop for lead. No. I know that looking by these, they're not going to be that too rhythmic for what I want for my song. No. All right, so what if we do synth? Synth lead. Now look, we have 372 matching samples, so we're going to skip through the ones that we know right away are good. Like this, the structure of this, where it's going to be no sound, then a few little bleeps of sound, and then nothing after. We're just going to like skip that one. I think I already listened to some of these. That sounds like a really famous song. I forget the name of it. It's like the same synth patch. We already listened to these. This guy. That's kind of cool. So just looking for like really cool sounds. These are kind of the same. One is more open. It's kind of cool, and we can also alter these sounds. One useful thing that you can do to sample different sounds is play this in the background on a loop. See what sounds good over it. And it's not going to line up necessarily in tempo each time as you're sampling a new sound. Or you could, you just have to wait and try to hit it at just the right time. But don't even worry about that. Just see if the sounds are complementary. That one's kind of cool. I'll download that. Let's look for like two more. And then the point is also to just go fast. So skipping the big webs of sound. don't we just use that one that we found? Because again, this is an exercise in just time and getting things out there. You really did line up on time. Cool. So we see here, like, sometimes sounds are a little early. Well, scooch them over. Especially on like big downbeats. And we can definitely clean these up in terms of timing later on. The point is to just get started. So I would always edit the smallest part of the sample's transients and word markers first, and then just duplicate that. And you can duplicate it by pressing on Ableton Command D. Let's listen to what this sounds like if they complement each other. Yeah, they do. And around the third beat, we could change this melody a little bit from the synth lead, but it's a good starting place. All right, so now we want an atmosphere in G minor. So house loop, we're gonna cut out lead synths, and if it's an atmosphere and it's white noise, we don't even need a key, a tonal key, G minor. We could just search atmosphere, because remember, it could be sounds like children laughing or white noise or basically anything, unless if we want to have something going in the we could have something going in the background that is tonal, like strings. So why don't we do that for now? G minor. Atmospheres. Sometimes the atmospheres that come up here in Splice are really cinematic. So by going for a certain genre, you can cut that down a bit. Oh, it would be helpful for looper. I kind of like this one. Let's see this one. I like both of these. So for now, I'm just going to highlight atmosphere and press Command D, and we'll try them both. I like the first one that we listened to because it had a lot of tension, and the second one was, so let's listen to them first. So I'll turn this one off. Let's just listen to the first one. So I'll press 0 and deactivate that. It's also off here, but by deactivating it, it's easier to see when you're visually looking at it. And we, of course, like bring this down really soft in the mix. It has a lot of tension in it because it's on this toe pitch. Which could be cool to bring up anticipation for the drop. So let's reactivate this one. Let's deactivate this one. Just press 0 on your keyboard, or you could right click it and just click activate, deactivate. turn that off or listen to this. And we're just going to compare which one we like more. And of course, we'll bring it like pretty far down in the mix. I like this one more. It kind of like sparkles a bit, so I can picture it bringing some high frequencies and like fun dancing times to the floor. All right, so now we're gonna look for a chill sub. So really low end. So you can just search sub. We're looking to fill frequencies that are around 20 to 50 hertz. So it's like a sub bass. Fill in that low end that's going to complement the kick. It's not going to have that much of a pattern. What we're going to do is bring in a low sample and then splice and chop it up to match the tempo of the kick. So it could be a one shot sub. I'm going to turn the volume up so you can really hear these a lot better. I think I just hit the sound card. I hit something on my sound card and it deactivated. To plug it in again. So to get to your sound card, if this happens, there live preferences or just as a key command on Macs, it's just command and comma, or on a PC, it's control and comma. I'm using an Apogee Duet. All right. Weird. It's muted. All right. Sorry about that. All right, so we're gonna play this and listen to a sub underneath. You could also look for things. This one could work. I'll just download it. Also search genres, because some subs have different rhythmic patterns that are particular to different genres. I was looking at house earlier, now I'll look at tech house. That could be cool. It's pretty high. So let's listen to all of these in comparison with the backing track. Another thing you can do is bring down the master volume. Here, I just brought down to -12 in the bottom right-hand corner. So it's not going to be really loud. So usually I look for sub sounds that have this like drive and momentum to them. But they don't necessarily have to be too complicated. So it's pretty simple, but it doesn't really go anywhere. I'll just hide it. That one doesn't match in key. So this one is kind of cool. I like this one a lot because it has a lot of motion to it. So we'll see if it fits. We might have to adjust like the sound, um, the tempo of it, or like the rhythm of it, not the tempo. Um, but let's see. Move this back to 0. And D. That's what we have. So we could, I think we could adjust the timing of this coming into place as well as, so that it really like matches the synths here as well as the notes that it's using potentially. All right, so we got that going. Can minimize that. Now let's go to the second part. Wait, did I actually pull up any other? Yeah, for now, I actually do like to have, it could just press Command T, 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 Command R, and then just rename like sub idea 2, sub idea space. Select auto highlight, make it faster. Command R, Command V to paste. Oops. That's number 4. And here, Command V, paste, and this was 5. I don't even remember. I don't think I had 5 ideas, but we're just going to pull these in because if that other one that we pulled up is just okay, and now we have some ideas to play with. Um, right now, let's just minimize all of these and turn them off. And if it makes it easier for you to see this visually, highlight them all, press 0, they're deactivated. Now you can definitely tell that they're off. All right, so in the next part, we have this basic setup. Now we want an impact. So this is like crash or a big hit explosion. So here we are, the build up. So let's look. Impact. So these are definitely going to be a one shot. Definitely going to be one shots. So look how many there are. 23,000. 24,000. So these are pretty heavy. Let's Spirit of Tech House, House and Tech House for this track. You're not really going to have a key, necessarily BPM. Once I'm going to hit this once. And that one definitely hits a key though. This one could work. We have that downloaded. So just for sake of something new. It's okay. This one here, it's all basic. I'm hesitant to get something with delay on it because we're going to be putting delay on it in the track. That one's kind of cool. It has like a rattle sound to it. Just like listening for cool, unique sounds and then adjusting them. All right, so we have that form and crash. So let's pull that in. We'll just pull in that one. Riser. Let's turn off for now. So a riser is, it could be a long single note with a rising pitch to build energy. So sometimes, well, you'll see from examples what it could sound like. So here, risers. It's kind of like a sweep. It's pulling the energy up. Or we have like hip hop EDM, which are cool, but I want to do something a little kind of housey for this track. Oh, and I've also found in my experience, I like risers that are long, like something that could be 4 bars long. It's pretty heavy. Ah, Stormy. I'll download it. I feel like one thing that's more high end with less low end. Because the low end would get in the way with the low end of the riser would get in the way of the low end of like the bass and drums. Let's do the windy one because it's higher frequency. We're gonna have to EQ out some of the low end, so we'll use that. Just mute it for now. Oh yeah, we want a drum build. Let's rename this. Okay, so it could be like a building snare, could be kick, laser. If you have a snare, it could also be like a building clap. But let's pull in. You can even search snare fill. That's appropriate. And let's see what comes up. Show 'em house. You can search like snare fill, drum builds, a bunch of things. Or maybe like a snare. Oops, build. All right, snare build. Yeah. Maybe something that's more like. What happens if we look more UK garage? Like our chord progressions were. No samples found. This one shots here. Snare build. It's kind of a fill. Build up. That's what you want. Building up that energy to the drop. It's kind of cool. This one's closer tempo. Let's go with this one. The reason is it's 125, which is really similar to our BPM of our song. And they're all kind of similar, so we might as well get one that's the most similar for this purpose. And we don't want to be too precious. All right, now let's get a turnaround. So it could be a drum fill, vocal sample. Let's do a vocal sample. That's fun. So we can just search vocal. And it doesn't necessarily have to be house, but just searching in G minor would save a lot of time because there are a lot of vocal samples. Vocals. And then from vocals here, like effects would be cool, pitch could be cool, chops. Let's look at the UK garage, what comes up. And also another thing to do as a vocalist, I find it cool to get inspiration from these artists, use it temporarily as placeholders in the tracks, and then when it comes time to write the top line for the tracks that are chosen, the chosen ones from phase one, then we could redo the vocals and use your own and do something similar. But this is a good way to have a placeholder to start with. Let's use one of these. I think they're both cool because they sound really similar. So one could be mimicking another in a call and response. So for this turnaround, we'll duplicate it. So I'll write up front Vox 1 turnaround, Command R, Vox 2 turnaround. So we can see right away what it is closer up here before it gets obscured by that line there. So put the high one up top and the lower one here. All right, so we got those. Just turn them off for now and mute that. Or actually, yeah, whatever, it doesn't even matter. We have melody taken care of, build-up sounds taken care of by minimizing them, turning them off. It just helps them get around this workflow more easily. So next, we are going to create our 4 channels. Well, we did um, the build-up sounds. So now let's do the 3 drum rack channels to make the beat. So we need 2 kicks and 2 snares. And if you don't want to use a snare, a clap is another substitute. They have this similar effect. Maybe even if you want to do something more minimal, a snap. But I'll minimize that. We're focusing up here on this main beat. So let's just press reset. Oops, no one pitched. When you get kicks, eventually you will have to tune your kicks. So this song, the kicks will be tuned to G. It doesn't matter major or minor because it's just going to be one pitch. It's not going to have the third, that B flat to qualify it as minor or B natural to qualify it as major. But so you don't have to look for a kick in the key of your song, but it does save you time later on. So you might as well if we're just looking at samples. And maybe I'll look at like genre, maybe like UK garage or house. Let me just look at a tech house kick. And you can see also that you don't have to look for samples all within the same exact genre of music. Because like house music is similar to tech house, and that's similar to UK garage. You could do anything, and actually that could be your signature sound, would be combining different things. So I'm gonna look for a more kind of nice kick. That one's nice, punchy. We could even search kicks here. That'll be made a difference. More a punchy kick. And a one-on-one shot. We can also layer kicks with 2 or 3 sounds layer of kicks all together. I like this one. I think it's punchy. It does the job. So we'll get that one for kick 1. How about something a little bit different? Like this. Or here, that's not in G. It's like da, da. I'll use this one. I know I did get the other one. But I feel like I want to go with this one instead. Like we could even layer this if we wanted to. We'll just use these 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. We'll use some different things for different sections. Snare 1 and snare 2. Snares, claps, snaps don't need to be in key necessarily. I mean, I never have, but doesn't mean it's not done. Well, actually, I don't know if I have. I have to think back on it. But it's not been. cool. We didn't search. Oops. What's something that's in Tech House? Just pull on one leg here. Like tight snares. And of course they are going to have programming on them. Let's get, we got this one here. And let's get this one. And an 808 is always a good sound. 808 is a drum machine that came out, and it has a lot of good sounds. And we could go into a whole thing about an 808. But, so I like these two the best. I think they hit nicely. Again, we will edit these over time. Oh, it didn't even come in. You could just drop it anywhere. Zoom in. Oh, it did come in. It's just so tight. All right. Boom. We have our snares. Now hi-hats and shakers. So a hi-hat is this high-pitched frequency. You know, it's like cymbals that are stacked on top of each other. So we have closed and open ones. First, we're going to start with a closed hi-hat. So let's research hats. And then, yeah, for fun, let's go UK Garage. And then we want to look for closed first. We're mostly going to use closed, and then maybe at some turnarounds we'll use open ones. So something like this. These are very textured. I also like this one because it's a full sound that you can edit later. Okay, so I'm gonna now look for an open one. Yeah, the hi-hat samples that they had right there were a lot of them experimental, which could be cool if you wanted to make your own. They're all kind of cool. I like the name Open Sesame. And they all sound like they could all work. So I'm just feeling Open Sesame. So again, the point of this is that we're not going to be too particular. I like this one, hi-hat. Pull up. No. And then this one. So it's, or actually we can hear it better in here. Here's the closed one that we had. And here's open. All right, so cool. Let's get some shakers. Shaker 1, shaker 2. So pitched, high-pitched, fast percussion sounds. These bring a lot of movement. So Look here. Shaker. And shakers. They are percussion. A lute would be good to have for this. And maybe I'll look for like a genre for this one. I'll put tech house because we'll hit a lot differently for different genres. The BPM's already coming in my mind. I like this tight one. Oh, obviously, I already downloaded it. It's another one, tight. See if it's something new. That one's cool too. Just download it. And just to get another shaker, I'll just pull one in from a different sample pack. Let's see if it's doing something different. We don't want something like this because there's more than just a shaker going on there. It looks like, it sounds like they're also hitting other percussive elements, and we want it to be clean for the sake of our mix. We can pull in those other elements later on, but we don't want to have to. That one's also cool. Something's different. Bring that too. All right, cool. So we got some different ideas going there. So shaker one. We have 4 different shakers. Got this one, both similar. I'll do that one for one. And, whoa, one sample. All right. And also, something tight. So for these, when we look at the rhythm, like, are they aligned? We can see that some of them are, some aren't. Another thing to look, we see the transient marker is happening here, for example, but there is a transient that happens beforehand that does align to the grid more so there. So if we want later, we can tighten that up, like I was showing you before. For now, let's keep going because the transient happens as it's building up to the first hit. All right, so now let's minimize that so we can see where we are. All right, so ear catching percussion. So for this is going to be what sets your track apart from other tracks. So get things that stand out, that sound really cool to you. They could be hand drums, toms, vocals, sound effects, lasers, blips, and bloops, anything that keeps it interesting. I know for me, recently, I've been on conga hit. Like, I've been like making some tracks. I'm like, oh, I need to groove more. And then I put conga in, like a couple congas or toms, and it sounds so much better, like so faster motion. Um, so let's do that. And then I was researching different producers that I really like, and then they talk about their congas. So we'll search in a key because congas will be tuned. It helps keep that vibe, that motion. Huh, interesting. This could be cool to listen to those in context. So let's turn off those main beats and drums. And let's have our melody open and see what sounds good. Oh yeah. All right. So let's just pull this down for now to about -10 or so. Eh. You can also hit different one-shot patterns. Yeah, so we don't want kicks with it. I'm gonna get that. It's like a hand slap, like a heel of a hand. This that one's kind of fun. I want to make my own beat, so I don't want to loop. I want to make my own beat with the congos, so I don't want to loop. But maybe I'll add even more ear catching percussion if I'm going to do something with congos. Um, it's good for when you're adding congos to add um, some multiple sounds. I'm not a conga expert, but when I have studied Latin drums and also just programming electronic versions of them, I have at least two sounds, sometimes three, with the heel of a hand, the palm of a hand, and the fingertips of a hand, and then where they hit the conga around the rim or near the center, and it's going to create a different tonal texture. And we're going to want to combine these in a polyrhythm. That's going to help it groove. So that's what we're doing there. I'm going to turn these off now because we have everything on as we play. Everything's at 1 for the drums as well. It's going to sound crazy. Now let's go and look for something really weird for another ear catching percussion. So you can go to browse, instruments. Why don't we do a cool vocal? You can do, let me just show you real quick. You can do found sounds. Some things that I played with before that were fun were like effects. And I picked sounds of someone walking, like a shoe. That was cool. We want definitely a one shot, no loops. Something unique that is going to be recognizable. Like effects could be cool. Talkbox, a robot, a glitch. These are my personal preferences, but let's hear what happens with a rave vocal. And we can pull out our samples anymore. Oh yeah, if we do something like this, we could pull something in on any key that it comes up as and repitch it later, but let's just see what happens here. No. Nah. Let's take the rave part off. Naughty ting. That is actually be really funny to put in for a bit, and then ooh, a reverse vocal could be really cool. It's a one shot if it's really fast. My fingers but we want something fast, like a percussion. These are too slow, so maybe reverse wouldn't work. But you're seeing the processes right now of sampling different sounds. So you could also go to I wonder what hyperpop is. We could also do texture, like a vocal stab would be something fast. Again, we're using this, we're going to program it as ear catching percussion. That's kind of cool. That could come in a track. I like this. It's short and it gives some character and color, but it also leaves room for the music to breathe as well. And we could also distort it. Let's start with that for now. We can add more if we want. Okay. And then, okay, so we got our ear catching percussion. Maybe let's do, oh yeah, so hand drums, toms. Let's get another like blippity bloop and do one more. So you can just press Command T to have a new track. And before we label what we're going to do, let's find what we're going to pull in first. Maybe let's do like a synth, kind of a synth lasery hit, one shot. Too slow. Hear how that's not even on the G minor fully. It's supposed to be da, and that one's da. That could be fun. It's kind of cool. That one. Looking for like these ones are way too long. We could also look for short. See what comes up. Too long. Too long. I was thinking maybe a vocal, like a breath would be cool. Another thing that could be cool would be let's just look at field recordings could be cool. Effects or vocals for that would be really cool. Let's look at things that come in. So first, like a whoosh could be really fun. Yeah. I just saw that and it stuck out. I was like, yeah, whoosh could be cool. These are very cinematic. So what if we pulled something in like a genre, like a house whoosh? Maybe there won't be a house whoosh. Maybe nothing is collected under that. Oh, we got one. Whoosh balls. Yeah, let's do that. All right, so we got a whoosh. Um, and we could always add different sounds. We do want these to be unique and memorable. All right, so we got that. Cool. Now, so again, we want those ear catching percussions to stand out, but we don't have to overthink it. So now we're going to collect our final samples, 3 synth channels to make the drop groove. When we need that loud sub bass, 808 style bass would work. So would a simple sine wave. It just has to be low and loud, and it's not going to distract from the main beat. We also want a killer synth that drops so it's immediately energetic, excitable. Has to be really cool because, yeah, it's the star. And maybe it's a bass preset from a synth, maybe it's an alarm or intense vocal chop. It has to be really good sound because it brings the energy. And energy usually means high frequencies. And then we have the turnaround synth. So why don't we just come back to that after we get this loud sub and that killer synth drop. Boom. I'll just mute that for now. Okay, so for this sub, let's make a cool synth drop first. Because it's going to be a synth lead. Because the sub for any kind of drop, we can just program it in MIDI if we wanted to and just have it be a sine wave underneath, meaning it's just going to be this simple low, it could be a simple low end frequency that's going to support the other sounds. So let's put our energy on something that really does have to stand out. And for this, for searching for a synth lead, I would definitely search it in a key. It'd be easier. We have synth lead, 2000, like almost 2400 matching samples. So synth lead BPM. This is where I would pull it in again because you might have a big range stuff. Like, for example, this one's a lot lower. Isn't like appropriate for reggaeton. But we want something that's going to be appropriate to this style that we're writing in. So we'll pick something between here and could be loop or one shot. Something cool. Let's put in a genre. We'll have less things to sort through, and we're just going to pick something to write a track. We still have 200 samples almost. That could be really interesting. I'm going to download it. Another thing, if you're a vocalist, we can also create space in the synth lead for a vocal to come in and fill in that space. So by thinking ahead of creating that space, it could serve you well. That one is too slow. Other cool ideas for this could be in certain sample packs. Oh, I like that. That's fun. Because we can also take this and pitch it around too. And follow it with a response. So for example, I could do something like this and then follow it with a vocal. That could be really fun. These aren't interesting enough. It's not really like a lead. Kind of is. When I picture lead, I picture what people call the face of a song. It's instantly recognizable. For the let's maybe look just for a few more, and if we don't find something, we'll use what we just got. These aren't that awesome for the purpose I was looking for. All right, so done. We are going to use this sound for our synth drop. Because I like how it brings a lot of energy. And then we can have it kind of checkerboard with this and then the vocals. So the vocals and then that. Let's look for sub bass. So it's not going to be a lead. Another cool area, place in Splice where you can get ideas for leads or subs is just searching through different sample packs. So for that, you could look through here and look at the different genres that they have here. Um, let's see. They have subs. They have bass. I don't know. Oh shoot. I keep trying to do bass. Right now, it's on keys. Don't want that. You could either click reset or click on the category itself. I don't feel like this is going to bring us what we want. No. That is fun though. What if we see? I don't know if this is gonna work. It's not really a sub so much, but it's a bass. And just out of curiosity, just add another track in here, right? Bass. And then we'll try it out and see if we like it. If we do, cool. If we don't, it will go into our unused pile. Let's make these. Let's go back into Splice. Let's look at browse. Look at packs. Um, so when me modern tech house, what is this? Delectable samples and loops. Hmm. Hmm. Don't say. I feel like we should definitely search sub and probably won't have too many here. So we can look just quickly in the keys. We'd have to transpose probably these if we would use them. Listening, well, that's kind of a sub right here. That's driving. I like that. Let's pull that in. Again, it doesn't have to be the perfect sample or perfect song. We're just getting something down. And we're gonna like repitch it and chop it up. Okay, so now we want this sound a turnaround synth. So this sound is gonna take turns to drop synth so you don't get sick of it. Spice things up. So it could be bass, dive, short rise, laser, alarm, arpeggiator. Arpeggiator could be really cool. It could also be your processed vocals. But let's just see different things. Let's browse some more sample packs. Um, yeah, turnaround synth. So it could be bass. The turnaround synth could be bass if we wanted to do something that's like bass driven, or it could be higher lead synth. Um, yeah, or it could be vocals, be a bunch of different stuff. So it's just fun to stay open and see what options come around. Let's listen at these options. And so what I'm thinking of right now is the call and response we'd have of like this. What would happen after that? I don't really like any of those. I know I did find some samples once that I liked. And this is, I'll show you how you can search within your Splice app for things that maybe you've already downloaded but you never used. Like you were just looking at different ideas. I remember it was a certain pack that I liked. This new rave pack was really fun. Um, so I'll just search G minor in here. These are definitely high energy. Oh, I didn't download these, but I have them. Ah, hear how that has a kick underneath it? We and the snare, we wouldn't want that. Because it would get in the way of us. I like this one. That one's kind of cool too for adding like turnarounds. Sometimes if I can't decide what I'm gonna do, I'll have a few. And I'll just label them here so they're easy to spot. Synth 1, turnaround. Synth 2, turnaround. And we could also cut these out and create space for the vocals to come in. That one, this one. I feel like there may have been more. Oh, I know what it was. Maybe I wanted to do a vocal here. Just put Vox turnaround. And maybe we would put a vocal there instead. Who knows? All right, so we have our ingredients to make a song. Definitely save it. So you could just go File, Save, Live Set. Another thing that you can do just to make sure is just do File, Collect All, and Save. So make sure that these are within your project folder. All right, so now we will turn them into a song by following this recipe. And we will do that after a break.